Are we going to call the Manvel Parks Board meeting to order, February 26, 2026? We're going to start with a roll call. Paul Sofka. Larry Akery.
Here.
Brian Sarmento.
Present.
Marianne Atkinson.
Here.
Ellen Nagley. Councilman Bonner.
Here.
Luis Leja.
Here.
All right, let's stand for the pledge. All right, let's go ahead and open the floor for public comments. Going once, going twice. All right, if we have no public comments, we'll get into regular agenda item. Agenda item A, consideration and possible action to move forward with a recommendation to the City Council regarding a proposed community garden at Croy Park by Keep Manvel Beautiful. Who are we going to hear from on this proposal? Yes.
Here? Okay. Sorry, it's a little set up a little different. Hello, I'm Erica Davis. Recently, I've been helping to restart up Keep Manvel Beautiful. So as many might know, it was here a long time ago, and then basically I came before the city asking that we can get reinstated with our government for 501c3 and all that. So we are in the process of getting all that done. And we had our first interest meeting this past Tuesday, and we had a really great turnout, a lot of good interest. So some of the things that we've had a few little different events here and there, and something that we're looking forward to moving forward with is doing a community garden specifically at Croy Park. We have met with Mr. Robbie over there, and I'm going to have our friends Alex and Enzo come up to share a little bit about what that plan would look like. So we're kind of asking right now is if the Parks Board would recommend, yes, that looks great, we'd like to move forward with that, and then we can go in front of council and get that approved so we can start putting in that community garden there. So I'm going to have them come up to share what that would look like. And Tammy, do you have the slides? Yes. Okay. And they all have them. Oh, okay, great, awesome.
Howdy, y'all. My name is Enzo Frossanini.
I'm Alex Lumsden, his wife.
Okay, cool. Got access to them. So for the community garden, I think you already got the slides in front of you. What we're looking to do right now is have the proposed position. It'd be just south of the soccer field. And what we're looking to do is do planter boxes, which are going to be 4 by 8 feet wide. And then as far as water source is concerned, we had talked about that, Robbie, as possibly just running a line to it and having a hose bib stick out. Something super simple, at least for the start. And if we needed to really expand on that, we could. Also, we even talked about a possible shed as an option if we needed to have tools or something like that over there. And I don't know if I have, there we go. So just kind of a zoom in of where that proposed location would be. Now, what we're trying to do in our first year would be something like this, where it would be a total of 6 boxes with basically just smaller boxes pinned together, with the little triangle right there being your water source, that hose bib we were talking about. Now, if that seems to be too much or too little, we can add or subtract really any of your feedback would be greatly appreciated on that. But that's kind of what we're proposing on doing, just so we don't bite off too much on that first year. What would be going in those boxes would be primarily crop type plants, so vegetables, fruits, and maybe just some flowering plants for pollinators. Now, hopefully, over the span of time, I'm kind of showing you what we'd like to see over like possibly a few year period, which would be additional boxes kind of set out to the north and east, I think, of those original boxes. And on that slide, you'll see a little gray box that would be a proposed shed right kind of in the middle, just in case we need to get supplies. Once again, with the understanding that this garden would be growing in size. Also, just in case someone had an issue with the kind of orientation, I set it out this way where they're more horizontal instead of vertical. And that's basically it. What do y'all have, or I'm not sure if I should be asking questions or anything like that, so.
How much of that cuts into the soccer field?
At the time, none of it. So if you go to this page right here, the edge of that box, that black box, that is the, you probably have about 10 more feet before the soccer field starts.
Okay.
So those original boxes are on the bottom left corner of the black box. So we're trying to stay as far away as possible and kind of walk it in.
Very good.
Are you all planning any type of fencing to protect the crops from being eaten by animals, or?
So that is something that I will be working with, or will be working with the master herbalist to kind of figure out if there's certain plants that would be better to plant so they wouldn't be eaten, or if fencing is just going to be required. Either way, I did think about what the fencing might look like, and it would probably be something like just a kind of square garden wire, maybe a few feet up. That way a deer couldn't put the whole head in or something like that.
And as far as maintaining it and all the upkeep that goes into it, is that going to be a partnership between Keep Manvel Beautiful and you guys, or who's?
Yeah, that would be the intention, that we work with Keep Manvel Beautiful to get volunteers.
Gotcha. I think it's a great idea.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for presenting.
Is the water source already there and we're just connecting a hose pipe to a spigot? Okay.
Appreciate it.
I have one thing. At the Keep Manvel Beautiful, you kind of expanded a little bit about the educational value that might be, and I wanted you to give the
Sure,
board
absolutely.
a little bit of that view.
It would be also a pretty good opportunity as the garden grows to show what actually grows here. The reason why we were interested in doing this is recently we started our own garden in our backyard, and it's the whole backyard is massive. And that was a few years of us just hitting our head against the wall, trying to grow things that aren't really meant for Texas. So lovely wife here decided to break out, what's the book was shows all the sections. Yeah, it's basically an almanac, but basically it was showing all the plants that would grow in our section or area. And so we just started growing those things. And turns out if it's native, if it's local, it probably does well. And so kind of the educational part would be showing kids like, hey, you can do this at your house. I feel like there's this kind of like joke where it's like, oh, we grow our own tomatoes, and you spend tons of time and effort, you grow one tomato plant and it comes up like 3 tomatoes. Well, while that's true, if you know what you're doing, you can grow quite a bit in your own backyard. And I think that's kind of what we'd like to pass on to the community as well.
Thank you, Enzo.
Appreciate it. Anything else?
I would also like to add, we were also planning to donate a portion of the produce produced to local food pantries. So that is something else that we were trying to give back to the community as well.
Robbie, how do you feel about it?
I feel great about it. I actually met with them out there. And if we can all make it happen, it'll look good because it's going to go right next to the Wildflower Project.
Are there any concerns from the city?
No, I have no concerns.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the volunteers would be taking care of the garden, and y'all are just home gardeners that you want to get out there and do it,
Correct.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, and that's the best gardeners.
We have some support of the master gardeners, so we are conferring with them. We're going to help, we're going to have them help us, so we really kind of make it successful starting out.
Well, I think it's a good idea too, and especially getting the kids involved. I've always been a big advocate of that, so if schools can do it, so be it. Maybe it can get big enough where they can have field trips out there and y'all can talk about it. You know, there's a lot of the neighborhoods coming up, they don't have what, you know, the rural people have with the bigger gardens and stuff, and they may never, ever see a garden. So it's a very good idea. Thank you.
Thank you.
What type of timeline are you all looking at?
I guess the timeline would be based just on approval, but let's say it does get pushed through. I built these boxes pretty quickly, so really the question becomes if we can raise funds through donation to get those boxes built, or where the funding come from. But besides that, as long as we can get the water out there and maybe some of that excavation we were talking about, either way, not a huge deal on the excavation part.
Have you put together a budget yet for
No, I have
what
not,
it would cost?
but I could easily do that.
Might be good to decide like what a box costs.
Sure.
And then you could put that out. There might be some people that would want to just buy a box and donate it.
Okay, that sounds awesome. I can put something like that together. That way we just kind of have an idea of what each box would cost. There was one thing I wanted to add. Yes. We were talking about it at the Tuesday meeting. With the community garden going there, I think it would be a good idea to leverage some of our volunteers to help kind of start revitalizing the park. It's not like the park's in bad shape, but it definitely could use a little TLC. And I just wanted to make sure that would be okay with y'all as well, using volunteers to kind of do some of the park, just de-weeding and things like that.
Picking up trash and
Yeah.
everything, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sure Robbie's going.
How close or how soon will you all have the Keep Manvel Beautiful organization reestablished with the 501c3?
So that will all depend on IRS and how quickly I can get through them. I do have another woman who's working on, she has her own nonprofit, so she's helping work with all that. So we're hoping she said it should be able to be done within the next 30 days. That's kind of what we're looking forward to.
So possibly get the garden in for summer planting?
Ideally.
Ideally.
Yes.
The first
sooner the
crop, it would be
better.
ideal to start at the beginning of the summer. That way we can get things like cucumbers in there.
All right, do we have any other questions? I thank you all for the presentation.
Get it?
Anything else for you?
I just want to say thank you guys so much for everything, and then also big shout out for everybody who came to the meeting on Tuesday night. Really appreciate the support, and we will be having another meeting for Keep Manvel Beautiful sometime in March. That'll be posted on the Facebook page and possibly be held here. So thank you guys very much.
Okay, Josie, I think we need to make a motion to have this reviewed by the city council.
That is correct. If you, if y'all would make a motion, vote so that you can provide a recommendation to the city council.
Okay, can we get a motion for providing this recommendation to the city council?
I'll make a motion to forward as a positive recommendation to city council to build the community garden at Croy Park.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, motion approved. All right, next item on the agenda, update and possible action on Buddy Williams Park.
Good evening. I'm Dan Johnson, work for the city here. And So this is kind of different, and I'm just glad that we were able to get this in front of you. So Buddy Williams was a councilman years and years ago. Larry probably remembers Buddy. He's since passed, but Meridiana carved out about 20 acres within their development. It's at the end of the road, whenever you pass Barbara Bennett School, at the very end of that cul-de-sac, there's a spot that just hasn't been touched yet. And so that is, the city owns that property now. And Meridiana has, it's an enormous development. They've had to change floodplains. They've taken down trees. Some trees probably needed to go. Some trees, it would have been nice if they could have been able to keep them. But they've also planted a lot of trees. They've planted over 10,000 trees in that development. And so we've been talking to them a little bit about some of the trees that went that probably should not have gone, even though the development came in before we had a tree preservation ordinance like we do now. The long and short of it is Meridiana, the developer themselves, they want to give something back to the community. And what we started talking about was the idea of this year being the 250th anniversary of the United States, right? And so one idea that we have was planting 250 trees at Buddy Williams Park. And we would want them to be very strategic about the way that they're planted, how they're planted, make sure that we've got the proper irrigation, all that kind of good stuff. But we really just wanted to broach this idea with you because you may or may not even know that we have this park, because it might be on our GIS now, but it's got no planning whatsoever just yet. We just know that it's a good spot. It's fairly well covered up right now. I don't know if you can tell by that aerial right there. Lots of scrub trees there, and not necessarily, until we go through and kind of clear it out and get all the underbrush. You can't really tell just yet if there are good trees in there that we want to keep for the long term. But Matt Lawson at Rise Development, who's the developer for Meridiana, he was nice enough to put this exhibit together just to give us something to kind of talk about. And we really wanted to see what y'all thought of this idea. There were two kind of competing ideas for the 250th. One was maybe handing out 250 trees, saplings or whatever, which is a neat idea. It sounds like we may have missed that window. It sounded like, I think they said maybe February would have been a better time to do that. Personally, I think it's a neat idea. I was a little concerned of the idea of how many of those trees are going to make it, how many people really know how to take care of it. And then when you look back on it, how do you really memorialize? How do you know that those were the trees that were part of the 250, as opposed to something like this? Maybe it's a more, intentional approach to, hey, this is what, this is where we celebrated. Maybe we do it on the 4th of July. I don't know. Maybe we have something out there that just sort of, we even talked about if they could have the holes ready, and families come out and, hey, we planted this one together and we covered it up and, we've got the irrigation stuff ready to go. So there's some, really neat possibilities there. And again, we wanted to kind of bring this, now that we have a, living, breathing Parks Board, wanted to see what y'all thought about it. We could be crazy. You could say, nope, don't do it. What are you thinking? But I think there's something there. And we talked a little bit to Councilman Knox about it. Mayor's aware of a little bit, and Keith's aware of a little bit. But before we get too much further, what do y'all think?
How accessible is the area right now?
The area is very accessible. I mean, it's on a paved concrete road. Yeah.
Are all those circles representations of the 250?
Yes, sir. Yep.
And what kind of trees are you guys thinking?
I think they put a little legend at the top, but it's illegible. Sorry.
Oh, it's
I don't know
really
what that
small.
says up there.
Yeah, I can't read that.
Yeah, I can't either. I don't know, Blake, if you're minding the story, can you zoom in for us? Thank you. You read my mind. There you go. That probably means something. Highness, tidy, what, I don't know. Good trees, I think is the answer we're looking for. They'd be good trees. Pines, oaks, yeah, sycamores. That's up for your input.
Okay.
Don't give me that choice. I won't put a pine tree in.
No pines, got it. Matt, if you're watching, no pines.
It just kills the grass. That's my problem.
are they going to be all bunched together like that, or is that just the
Really just
line that he made?
Just a conceptual, yeah. I mean,
You need a little bit more room than that.
right. We want to make sure that they're all spaced out to, ultimate growth. I mean, another thought would be, do we want to look at maybe an orchard of some sort, some fruit trees in an area? I'm not a tree. I'd love to look at them, but I don't know anything about them. Yeah.
That's what I'd like.
Yeah.
I know I've said that before, but I was hoping if you could just maybe, looking at it, take that back part.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the fruit trees are a little bit more work. Sorry, Robbie. But then.
We've got a great volunteer group.
Not only like your idea of a
Yeah.
family coming out and planting a tree,
Right.
but then the families coming back out and, sharing what they grew, eating off of it.
These are our apples. Those are y'all's apples.
Don't touch
Don't mind
mine.
your own tree. These are ours.
But, I mean, just something to that, kind of, just like I said before, give the kids something to see.
Right.
Myself, I never went apple picking up north. It was never a good time for me to go up north and do it. I didn't go apple picking till about 5 years ago. And my family lives around the apple orchards in Iowa and all that. And I had a good time. I picked all kinds of little apples and the kids were running around. And I think something like that would be awesome there.
Okay.
So in the grand scheme of the whole parks master plan, would this park maybe move up in priority as far as future development, or has that been discussed?
I think it sure could. So it's not even on our 2017 master parks plan. It's not even contemplated. We didn't know that we were going to get this property. So there's some generic stuff in there that if you build a park, if you get some more property, maybe consider these types of things. But it's very generic. So I think. Joseph, you talked to them about the Parks Plan update yet? No, that's the next one. So we're making folks aware of that now that we actually own it. What do we want to do with it? It doesn't have to be the exact same as other parks. It doesn't necessarily have to have the dog park and the playground and the this and the this. It could be a different park, quite frankly. It could, maybe I think people are all about pickleball. It could have that instead of, is that what it's called?
I'd love to see it as just an educational park.
An educational
where
park, sure.
It has trails that go through it that would be low maintenance. It has areas where maybe the growing of stuff works so well that we can carve out an area out there where people can actually come out there and learn how to grow stuff. Doesn't have to have I think we've got ideas for playgrounds and stuff to where maybe this doesn't need a playground. Maybe it just needs to be a Serenity type park where it's got some benches and some tables and stuff where you want to go out there and look at nature and read a book or have a picnic. You've got some place to do that. I think we don't have any place like that. And I think it would cost less. If we're not putting a bunch of paved roads through there and like that, we don't need as much infrastructure. Maybe water and a bathroom someplace is about the only thing we have to physically disturb the ground for, and parking. We could have a nice place. Just something I've thought of. I'd love to see someplace where you can take your family and just go out there and you don't have to have an organized plan. You kind of get to take your kids or your family out there and teach them something that maybe they haven't, like you didn't get to do apples. Well, maybe we've got lemons and limes and stuff like that where you can go out there and, I see all the families and kids out at Froberg's on Saturdays when they're picking strawberries, and that's just a simple little task that they're having a blast doing. So I'd like to see something like that.
I like that idea.
To piggyback on the 250 celebration for 4th of July, would it be possible to maybe add a plaque or something to commemorate that day?
Sure.
And people that go out there, when you guys plant those trees, they'll have that connection with the plaque.
think that'd be
But just a suggestion, I
Yeah,
think
no, I
that would
think
be
it's
cool
great.
to piggyback.
Love it.
If we did plant the 250 trees, do we have the resources to take care of them until they mature?
Robbie?
That'll be something we have to put in the budget.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, we're going to have to run, there is water there all the way to the end of that road, but not, looped. I mean, we need to get cost estimates and whatnot for irrigation, and then it's not just, cutting, the same as cutting roadside ditches, right? I mean,
Is sewer down to that road too?
I don't know how far sewer comes. I have to look at it. As far as for a bathroom?
And as far as the cost of the trees, is that just something that we're going to take out of the parks budget?
That's something that they're donating.
Oh, awesome,
The developer is, yeah.
awesome.
I mean, there's, what do you say, 15-gallon tree? I mean, that's significant expense.
A lot, yeah.
So, yeah, what we would need to come up with is the water and come up with some O&M costs. And so I don't think we're looking for necessarily a recommendation to go to council just yet. Probably more of, what would y'all like to see? Let us kind of go back to the drawing board a little bit. If we're seriously thinking about the 4th of July, though, we don't want to dally too long, right? So we'd want to start gearing up. So do we have another meeting scheduled yet for the Parks Board? But we can schedule another one, obviously, before July. Okay.
I'm sorry, it would be that fourth Thursday in March.
Thursday, March. Okay. I think we could have something. So take back, what would it look like for some, obviously, irrigation? Do we want to go all the way back in those two back corners? That probably adds, some pretty significant cost to go far back like that. So probably need to look at those kind of things. Maybe look at some different, more varieties. Maybe some fruits, lemons, limes. If apples grow, do you think apples grow?
I don't think
They don't.
it doesn't get cold enough.
Yeah,
That, they get eaten.
mainly citrus,
Peaches grow, if you got the right soil though.
pears. Yeah.
Pear.
Is this where we can go out there and look at it so we won't get in trouble, like how I want to go into the Acre Lake and pull stuff out of that area? Since it's gated off?
If your last name is Acre, you can go out there. Otherwise,
Well, we
no.
go in. I just want some dirt.
Yes, you can go out there
Yeah,
right
we
now.
can go out there and
City-owned property, yep.
it's accessible.
Is this future pond, is that part of Meridiana's detention program, or is that?
Yes, that's not ours. And I think is it pointing to, yep, G2? Is that what it is?
Okay. Oh, that little cutout is in, I'm sorry.
But Marianne, if you'll let Robbie know when you're going to go, we got some new zero turns this year, and it'd be easier for you to maneuver out through the property
Mow and look.
while you're on the zero turn.
Yeah, I've actually never had a zero turn.
Okay.
I'd like to mess it
Some
up.
paperwork to sign. I guess that's why I usually sit over there, huh? Stand up out or something.
I think it's a great idea, and like I said, I like the educational, but keeping it free from sports and playgrounds and just a place for, come out and have picnics. I think it's great, because, all the other parks we're doing, they're gonna have all that.
Right.
And just make this like Serenity, you
Yeah.
know?
Love it.
What do you guys think?
I think it's a good idea. I like what you recommended, the mix of trees. Maybe some fruit bearing trees would be a good idea. And, I do like the idea of a nature type environment with just, I don't know, gravel or just somewhere without all the other apparatuses, playgrounds and fields and stuff like that. And especially if we can, keep the maintenance low.
Great. We have enough to kind of go back? Awesome. Thank you all so much. Appreciate y'all working this one in to the agenda tonight.
All right, thank you.
Sir.
All right, next item on the agenda, discussion on City of Manvel Master Parks Plan.
Good evening, everybody. We included this item like a catch-all item to talk about a few things. First of all, we wanted to bring your attention to our current Parks Master Plan. I know y'all are already aware of it. You've looked into it. Just wanted to mention that our Parks Master Plan was adopted in 2017, and it was envisioned like a 2017 through 2027 plan. The Parks Master Plan include like an inventory of our parks back then, some of the parks, vision for the parks at that time, some of which are in the process of being materialized, and we've also, like Dan mentioned, added additional parklands within the community. The Parks Master Plan also had identified opportunities for off-street trails and walkways and bike paths so that we can maximize walkability within our community. So it's 2026, and it is that term that was set in the Park Master Plan, like 2017 through 2027, is almost up. And as you all are also aware, we are going through a process of updating our comprehensive master plan and major thoroughfare plan. And the comprehensive master plan, I mean, we've been doing this for a while now. There's been several opportunities for public engagement and getting input from the public. So the comprehensive master plan is more like a big vision document that results in several other plans. Parks Master Plan would be one of them. So wanted to give you a heads up that it is about time that we start thinking about updating the master plan. And once we have our comprehensive plan adopted, we would have more specific guidance on some of the things that emerge from the public engagement that we've had. Also wanted to let you know that the upcoming Planning, Development, and Zoning Commission will have a presentation and discussion on recommendations for the Comprehensive Master Plan and Major Thoroughfare Plan, and we'll have a public hearing where citizens would have an opportunity to come and express their thoughts, concerns, input at that meeting. And then once, depending on how that meeting goes, what recommended changes are proposed, we are tentatively planning a public hearing with the City Council at the first meeting in April. I would encourage everybody to go on our website. We have the website termed as Future Manvel. If you go search Future Manvel, it'll open the page, and it has the draft documents already in there. There's one chapter which is specifically dedicated to parks and recreational program. There are other chapters of the comprehensive plan which all kind of tie together to come up with this vision for our community in the future, like your land use, your future growth, your environment, economic development, all of those things. So it would be a good idea for you all to be in tune with the draft version. And I would also encourage you all to attend our council meeting, give your feedback before the meeting, at the meeting. Feel free to contact me if you all have any questions on what you see in the document. That was the first thing I wanted to cover. And since we are at sort of our end term for the Parks Master Plan that we adopted, and last year I had the opportunity to connect with Dr. Sherry Smith, who's a professor at Texas Southern University. And in our discussion, Dr. Smith, she said that a group of her students, as part of their studio project, would like to do a project associated with parks in city of Manvel. So wanted to give you a heads up that that project is in the works. The students have already started working on data collection and looking at our existing master plan. And what they envision is having some public outreach and engagement sessions here at the park, here at our farmers market. One of the visioning session is planned to happen here at the City Hall. And with and there are some other public outreach and engagement activities that they've planned. All of that put together, they're looking at completing a studio project that they would at some point present to you all, and also possibly present to our city council. I wanted to mention that the work has started. They've already started putting some of the public outreach opportunities on their website, and we would support the endeavor, and we would start putting some information out on our website as well. So wanted to make sure you all are aware of that. And the goal is to work closely with the student group and Dr. Smith to see, to get a valuable study that we can either adopt in some form or format, or maybe use as a foundation to start our Parks Master Plan update when it is time, which would be pretty soon once our comprehensive plan is updated. And I also want to emphasize that the Parks Master Plan is a very important strategy document for every city. That is where we get a guidance on the types of parks we need, the number of parks that we need, when developments happen, making sure that they are doing their part to contribute to the park system within the city, even programs like preservation of trees and those kind of stuff. We get our guidance and use specific strategies laid out by that plan. So this is an important exercise. This is an important upcoming planning event or program, I would say. And we are really happy that Dr. Smith and her students are helping us with this. And we are hoping that they see, they're able to give us some great data, input, suggestions, recommendations, design proposals. And one of the things that I want to mention is that I've been a student of Dr. Smith. During my master programs, I've taken one of my courses that she taught. So I know her since a while. And I also know that I regularly see their student group win awards at the planning conference. I've seen some of their works. It's always great. So we have Dr. Smith here attending the meeting today, and I think we have one more student. Yeah, so we have both of them here. If you all have any questions, and I guess if you all would like to address the board, this would be the time. And if you all have any questions of me, I'm here.
Well, good evening, and thank you, Jose, for putting me up here. Just want to thank the opportunity, and really, it is a studio exercise, and the goal is to have students have the opportunity to it's their professional exposure before they graduate. And so just being able to reach out and interact, not necessarily to get in the way, but to be able to do some things that actually hone their professional skills, as well as we're hoping that there's something that comes out of it that you can pull from. Really, we're going to narrow our focus because of the number of students that are in the studio. I'm looking at amenities, park amenities that the residents in the city of Manvel would be interested in seeing. And so it was very interesting in hearing that first conversation. We would ask, are they interested in preservation spaces or gardening spaces or trails or so we're just really having it open to what do people want to see versus kind of getting in the design. We are identifying some of the more open spaces that the city owns to saying what would you want to see where. But we're not trying to be any more committal than that of the city, just making sure that the community has an opportunity and the students have an opportunity to learn how to create engagement opportunities and be able to solicit input. So you should see us around, but hopefully we're not going to be getting, we are going to be at the farmer's market, so we're excited about that. And we're going to be doing some Zoom calls. We know people. I used to live in Manvel, so we know some people. So we're going to do kind of, weekend chats with those that we know in areas that are open to say, what would you like to see? If there were a park in this community, what would you like to see?
Are these undergrad or graduate students?
Graduate students in urban planning and environmental policy.
And I believe we're planning to have one visioning session hosted here at City Hall, which would be March 23rd, you
Yes,
said?
that's what we're looking at.
And that'll be right before our Planning, Development, and Zoning Commission meeting.
Time-wise, you mean at 5 o'clock?
No, we're planning, I think, 4 to 6. Just like we had that open house for a comprehensive plan, it would be similar to that.
And did you tell them Ella? Did they know Ella had?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, she has another student who's like a City of Manvel employee. So we happen to know that Ellie, who's our senior planner, she also was her student. So.
Right, in a studio, and she did a parks plan for the city of Houston that is actually being implemented, so we're excited about that.
That's great. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Josie, for the parks plan we currently have and the upcoming plan that we're looking to draft, ideally, when will you have a draft of the plan? Will it be at the start of calendar year 27 or 28?
It would be difficult to answer that question. So right now what we have is the comprehensive plan that is in the works, and we're hoping that like at the first city council meeting, it can get adopted. And one of the recommendations that you will strongly see from that plan is to make sure we have an updated parks master plan. So we would start that process somewhere around like after April. And with all the public input that we've got in every engagement session, and even like the public engagement session that happened for our existing Parks Master Plan, the community has strongly communicated that they need more park amenities. And we have a city council and even Park Planning Development Zoning Commission have expressed the need for park amenities and things of that sort. That's why, like Dan mentioned, we have a couple of parks that is in addition to what has been considered in our Parks Master Plan. So there is a lot of focus, and the goal would be to move as fast as possible. But right now, we do not have a timeline. We would start working on the details of that once the Comprehensive Master Plan is adopted. So right now, we do not have a time for when the draft would be ready, because we would have to engage a little bit, plan, prepare, kind of find a suitable third-party company who can take on the project. Sorry about that lengthy answer.
No, that was great. I appreciate that level of detail. Any other questions or comments related to this discussion?
Just very much looking forward to the plan and seeing y'all's vision, everybody's vision come together for it. Very exciting, for sure. Thank you.
All right, if we don't have anything else to discuss, I was hoping we stayed longer. Oh, go ahead. We hadn't been here in 6 months.
Yeah, I know, right? So we're planning on putting some crepe myrtles out at Croy Park, where we built the new parking lot. It's a grassy area in the middle right there. And we're looking at putting some crepe myrtles out there. Which colors would you guys like to see?
Red, white, and blue.
Red, white, and blue?
Yeah, it wouldn't be in the front.
Okay, because at first, without consulting, I was thinking like just all white, just be neutral, right? But
Color.
red, white, and blue?
Color. I mean, that's just my opinion. And you know
Okay.
what? They actually are very good for mosquitoes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Mosquitoes do not like.
Might just double up on that then. So I'm planning 5, so we're looking at red, white, and blue.
What do y'all think? I mean, I know I'm a little outspoken.
I think the colors are like pink, purple, and white.
I like the purple ones.
Okay.
And is there like a hot pink one?
Hot pink? Okay.
The whole rainbow of colors.
Yeah, rainbow
Yeah.
colors. They're
Rainbow
beautiful.
colors.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it, got it. Thanks.
Let us know if you have anything else you have questions like that for.
I sure would.
That ought to be the tree of choice at parks,
Crepe myrtles.
around the areas where people are gonna be, because of, like she says, mosquitoes don't like them. So, just don't put them near cars. If the leaves fall on the cars, well, I hated that when I had two big ones right by the driveway.
A few more pine trees.
Yeah. Got some grass you want to kill?
I have a whole line of pine trees. They're the tallest ones, and that's where the birds nest at.
Just, somebody could figure out how to grow something underneath them, it'd be good.
Poison ivy grows great under.
There you go.
All right. I'll go ahead and, can we get a motion to approve the minutes to date?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes today.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, minutes approved, meetings adjourned.